Merry Christmas everyone. I know it's been a while since I last made a video, but I thought I'd see in the festive period with a return to Assetto Corsa Competizione on Low Fuel Motorsport. It's the GO Setups GT3 Sprint at Spa, and it is not going to be easy. It's my first ACC race in a month, it's a high split, and I'm car number 26 on a grid of 27. I'm rusty, I'm off the pace, and I've qualified down in P21 with a time of 2:19.7. I think I'm gonna need a Christmas miracle. Yeah, one whole month without a race, but the wait is finally over as we begin the charge down to Eau Rouge for the first time. 27 cars, so it is going to get incredibly tight through here. Very little space to play with. I actually get a bit loose over the curb on the outside there as I was trying to leave space to my inside. That has allowed Michael Kuzmachik in the red Honda to make a break for it. Meanwhile, I'm beginning a charge on the number 27 McLaren of George Rocket. I'm alongside Rocket now, however, there's no room in front of me because Kuzmachik has taken the defensive line. Meanwhile, that green Ferrari of Manuel Sterbizzi had the best run out of all of us down the Kemmel Straight. He took full advantage of the gap that opened up to the left of the track and has gained not one, not two, but 3 positions. So as things stand, it's Sterbizzi in the Ferrari up to P20, Kuzmachik in the Honda P21, and George Rocket in P22. Now I'm actually having a sneaky look up the inside of Rocket there through the hairpin. No room to get through though, so I'm going to tuck back in behind. Hopefully not come under attack from the McLaren behind me. That was Felix Corner having a proper good look through that left-hander. Now it looks like I might have the run on Rocky here. Can I get alongside him and make a pass up the inside into Pouon? Well, it's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. Rocket leaves me the space, to be fair to him, but I wasn't quite far enough alongside. Meanwhile, it looked like there were 2 casualties out on the runoff area to the right, so that does promote me back up into 21st position where I started from. So it's as you were as far as I'm concerned, but further up the field, 2 high-profile casualties at Pouon. Yuri Punting from P2, Philippe Redon from P4, both out at that fast left-hander. So yeah, 2 bonus positions on this opening lap. It makes up for the 2 positions I lost coming through Eau Rouge and Radalon. Oh, and I was a bit wide through there as well. I wondered if I might pick up a track cut warning, and I have done. However, I wasn't as wide as Lorenzo Salami in that black and green Ferrari. Salami has dropped several positions there, and now I'm right on his tail into Blanchard, and he's sideways through there. Is he going to hold on to that? Well, this is an opportunity to take another position. It does look like he's kept it facing in the right direction, so I've got no choice but to take a wider entry into the bus stop chicane here in the hope that I can barge my way up the inside on exit and challenge for the position coming down the start-finish straight. They're going to be side by side, but unfortunately it looks like Salami has just got the run on me. He is going to stay in P20. I'm going to have to settle for P21 as we start lap 2. Oh, big sniff from behind. That was Luca Lipinski having a serious look at the gap up the inside into La Source there. Thankfully, I was just far enough ahead to hold on to 21st position and avoid the contact. Right, let's check out the replay to see what happened at Pouon on lap 1. Oh, there's the contact. That is Yuri Punting in the yellow McLaren, just getting clipped from behind by Philippe Redon in the Ford. Redon pulling over and waiting for Punting to rejoin. Always good to see. Right, back to the live action at the start of lap 2. I'm just a bit wide coming out of Radalon there. That might be a second track cut warning, and it is. Oh, this is going to get really worrying now. 2 track cut warnings on the opening 2 laps, which of course means I'm going to have to be incredibly careful from here on in to avoid a drive-through penalty. Closing back in on Lorenzo Salami then, but look at the rearview mirror. Luca Lipinski has already had 1 sniff. He's going to have another one soon because he's closing in. I've switched the TV cam on so we can see things from his point of view. Now I'm going to try and be a bit more defensive into the hairpin. I want to discourage Lipinski from having another attempt at a lunge up the inside. Meanwhile, in front of me, Salami had exactly the same idea. He defended against me into the corner. So as things stand, it's Salami in 20th, me in 21st, Lipinski right behind in 22nd, just 0.1 of a second as we come into Pouon for the second time. Meanwhile, in front of Salami, it looks equally as tight between the cars in front, several of them jostling for position. So I'm just 0.1 of a second behind Salami now. In fact, I get a little bit too close, but not as close as Lipinski in the rearview mirror. He came in really hot there. He had to abort the corner, otherwise he was going to run straight into the back of me. Watch the TV cam, we'll see the replay. And yeah, we both got a little bit caught out as the pack concertina together, but Lipinski so close to hitting me there. I'm grateful that he decided to go for the runoff area rather than drill in the back of me. Thankfully, we're still on track. We're still in P21. Lipinski is back on track as well. He lost 2 positions. Felix Corner up into P22. Konstantin Gorolik up into P23. Meanwhile, in front of me, I've just started to lose a bit of ground on the pack in front. The gap up to half a second now to Salami. However, I will close back in as we come into the bus stop chicane for the second time. It's so tight through here. So many cars battling for position. I think we might have lost one of them. I can't quite see. Oh yeah, there he is. It's the number 4 Ferrari of Angelo Santambrogio coming straight for me there. Somehow I managed to avoid him. I picked up a position momentarily, but I've lost one straight away to Felix Corner. Corner had a much clearer run through that carnage to maintain his speed. Oh no, contact! I've been hit into T1. I didn't even see where that was coming from. I was concentrating too much on Corner in front and not enough on what was going on behind me there. I'm going to rejoin down in 26th position. Well, that was really unfortunate, particularly given how well I did to avoid getting tangled up in this bus stop chicane incident. But watching the number 4 Ferrari of Angelo Santambrogio, he's just going to get tagged from behind by George Rocket in that McLaren, spins him around, and I just managed to creep by. Then at turn 1, I might have brought this on myself. Look how I changed my line at the last possible moment. I tried to take a wider entry into the corner. It opened up a big gap on the inside. Konstantin Gorolik went for it and spun me around. And look at that, I didn't even realise at the time I also clipped David Carline as I was rejoining there. I mean, I deliberately stayed still until I thought all the cars had gone past, but unfortunately Carline was in my blind spot. He was hidden by another car, so when I started reversing, I just didn't see him. So huge apologies to David. Oh, look at that, Santambrogio crashing out again, so that at least is 1 position back. And that was quickly followed by a second freebie at the start of lap 4, just approaching the end of the Kemmel Straight. I turn into Lecumen, look at that, into the grass is Rafael Sender. So that is me quickly back up from P26 into P24. Let's check out the replay to see what happened to these two. Starting with Santambrogio getting it all wrong through Blanchemont. Now we know these Ferraris don't like the curbs, and he has come a cropper there. He wasn't the only one either. At the start of the next lap, Sender also clipping the curb, and another Ferrari heads off to the barrier. Right, jumping forward to lap 7, and we're going to see yet another Ferrari curb combination end in tears. This time it's Luca Lipinski getting it all wrong through Lecumen. Now he bounces off the barrier, he's going to come back on track, but this is me sensing another position. I'm closing right in on Lipinski now. It looks like he's picked up some damage from that shunt, so I should be able to get past him and up into P23. I am going to be cautious though. It's always tricky trying to overtake a driver who has just picked up damage. They don't know the new limits of the car. They're still going to be pushing, so I am going to try and leave Lipinski as much space as I possibly can, but yeah, he is well down on pace, so it's going to be an easy overtake. That's me up into P23 before we reach Pouhon. Later on in lap 7, we see another driver falling victim to Blanchemont. This time it's Sebastian Kurth in the McLaren. I come around the corner, the yellow flag's right, there's Kurth just rejoining to the right, so that is another position gained. I'm up into 22nd and closing right in on Redon. Now we saw Philippe Redon involved in that Pouhon incident on lap 1. Has he been involved in another skirmish here? Was he part of that crash involving Kurth? Let's take another look at the replay. They're side by side coming through Blanchemont. That is Kurth on the outside, Redon on the inside. Oh yeah, that was big contact. Kurth pushed right out off track there, and it looks like Redon is in fact slowing down to try and wait for Kurth to rejoin. On board with Redon now, you can see there's not really enough room to make the pass on the inside. He tries to take the curb, but there's contact and Kurth crashes out. Yeah, Radon is indeed slowing down to wait for Kurth here, so this could play in my favour. We're returning to the live action halfway through lap 8. Radon is still in front of me, but yeah, he is still trying to wait for Kurth, who's just behind me, and in fact he is going to pull aside, so there is a bonus position. I'm now up into P21 and closing right in on Gorolik. Now of course it was Gorolik I had the contact with at the source a few laps ago, which sent me spinning around, and I'm wondering if Gorolik has either got damage or he's letting me past as an apology. I don't know which one it is, but I'll take it. And meanwhile ahead, it looks like they're all crashing out. Alexander Zilka just returning to the track. He is now just 2.5 seconds in front, so I've got a target to chase here from P20. But let's check out the replay to see what happened to Gorolik, and sure enough, he was carrying damage. He just gets it wrong coming out of that corner and slides hard into the barrier. Then later in the lap, we lost Alexander Zilka just running into that right-hander too hot. The rear steps out and he too slides into the barrier. He does manage to get back on track, but only a couple of seconds in front of me. And as we return to the live action at the start of lap 9, I am now right on his tail and poised to make a move as I get a great run through Eau Rouge and Radulon. So I've got the extra pace, I've got a bit of a tow as well. Can I make the pass? Can I get up into P19? Well, it looks like Zilka's going to go defensive, so I've got no choice but to take a wider entry into Lake Hoon. Can I get alongside and maintain this position? It means going too wide through this section. It's going to be tough. There's contact. Well, I had to get my elbows out there. We were side by side, but I think I held onto my line fairly enough. We have lost Zilka. Zilka out onto the grass, so I have got P19, but we'll need to check out a replay of that to see if it was a little bit too aggressive or whether I kept it fair. Let's take a look. But at this point I was waiting to see whether Ziegel went defensive or stayed on the racing line. He did indeed go defensive, so that sent me out wide. Now at this point I've got to maintain the inside line alongside him. Do I stray from that curb? No, it doesn't look like I did. I mean, it's a forceful move, there's no doubt about that, but I think I did it as cleanly as I possibly could have. I'm certainly fully alongside him here, so I've earned the right to have the inside line mid-corner. Do I move from the curb? No, I don't. I'm hugging the curb at all times. So I think I did everything that I could do there, but please do let me know if you think differently in the comments. The jury's out on that one. Meanwhile, we've got a race to finish. I'm just about to start the last lap here at Spa, and as you can see in the rearview mirror, Sebastian Kurth has reeled me right in. He's now within half a second, so I'm going to have a fight on my hands here to hold on to this P19. We're going to get to do Spa-Francorchamps one more time. Can I hold on to P19? Or will Kurth be just too quick for me? He's certainly got the pace advantage. He's been lapping around half a second quicker than me, but I've got to do all I can to try and hold him off here. Getting a good run through Eau Rouge and Radulon is absolutely essential to that. If I don't, I'm going to be a sitting duck down the Kemmel Straight. Oh, it looks like I might be exactly that sitting duck. Look at the extra pace that Kurth has picked up. I'm going to go defensive, but I don't think it's going to make a jot of difference here because Kurth's McLaren is going to breeze past down the straight. He gets to the apex before me. That is Kurth up to P19, me down to P20. Well, I'll see what I can do here. I may be able to challenge him back, but I suspect he has got the pace to open up a little bit of a gap over this final 2/3 of a lap. I mean, at least I've got a 3-second cushion back to Zilka in 21st position. Finishing 20th actually isn't a bad result at all, given how low on confidence I was coming into this race. I very nearly lost it there. That's what I don't want to do. I do not want to make a mistake. But yeah, as expected, Kurth just had too much pace for me on this last lap. I wasn't able to stick close enough to him to consider making a move, so instead I had to follow him home and take the 20th position. But as I said just then, it's not a bad result at all. I've gained a position from where I started, and I was car number 26, so I was never expecting to challenge here. And of course, ACC is not a sim that you can just hop back into and be competitive. After a month off, it will take me time to rediscover my pace. But I'm grateful to have survived this one. I am, of course, very sorry once again to David Carlin as well for taking him out while rejoining. I honestly thought all the cars had passed. I didn't see him, and I'm feeling really bad about that. Otherwise, though, an enjoyable return to ACC on LFM. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Cheers for now.